Hey everyone, Mark Cheney here with Adventures in E-commerce. Today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to find a supplier on Alibaba. Also, I'm going to show you how to communicate with them and my critical steps that I go through when vetting these suppliers. Also, I'm going to include a bonus PDF down here below on do's and don'ts, especially for newbies. It's going to have a list of supplier lingo. The terms that they use can be awfully confusing sometimes. And then the last page of the PDF is going to include an email script that you can just copy and paste and put in your own name and details so that you're not missing out on the critical questions that you need to ask these suppliers. So let's head on over to the computer. Okay, so we're back here at the computer and I'm already on Alibaba.com and we're gonna find that supplier, but we're going to do that by searching for our product first. And the other day on a video I found a product on Amazon that I liked, and it was an eyebrow trimmer. Let's see what we turn up with there. It was more like this one, and this looks like razors, so I'm going to say electric. Okay, so here are some results. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is filter for some things that I don't want to show up. I don't want suppliers that don't have trade assurance or gold plus. So I'm going to come over here to the supplier tab. You can see here I have 1,241 products from 217 suppliers. So I'm going to filter on the supplier tab for trade assurance, and I'm going to filter for gold plus supplier. Trade assurance is basically a guarantee to me, the buyer, that the transaction, the product, everything is according to what we agreed to, and that's through Alibaba. Gold plus is just a well, premium membership, so that means that they just pay to get better placement or better credentials on their system. So here we filtered out quite a few. We only have 25 suppliers left, and if we start looking at these guys, one of the first things that I look at is how many years they've been in business. This one is 1 year. This isn't even the product that I'm looking at. But this one is 1 year. I don't count out those that are only 1 year, but as a general rule of thumb, the longer they've been in business, the better. But if they've been in business for 1 year, I certainly look at other credentials, other metrics. So let's come down here, just a real quick glance. This is the product that I was talking about. So is that. And if I just keep coming through, these are not what I'm looking for. Here is one, Shenzhen. Let's see. Let's go back up to the top. Sorry for scrolling all over the place. Yeah, Shenzhen. That is, I think that might be the same people. Anyhow, let's go ahead and click into the product. And to continue some of the things that I look for, the things that jump out right away are initially the MOQ. If they have it listed, MOQ is minimum order quantity. It looks like it would be 10 pieces because they don't say from 1 to 9. So 10 being a minimum at $2.98. So this jumps out to me right away. Obvious reasons. Looks like we can place a sample order, so that's cool. They will allow customized logo on the product for a minimum order of 500 pieces. That's definitely a good thing that they do customization. But really, I'm still trying to kind of underwrite the supplier more so than the price and things. And I'm going to come over here to the company profile tab. And I am going to look at this top line, this basic information. So usually there is one or two options that show up here. Either manufacturer, which is awesome. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to weed out any kind of middlemen in this equation. I don't want to deal with a broker who then is going to work with the factory, because all that's going to mean for me is a markup. So I want to deal directly with the manufacturer. So this is good. This says they're the manufacturer, so at least we're on the right track. Sometimes this stuff can be misleading. The other thing that it would say would be a trade company or a trading company, and that would more so indicate a brokerage or a facilitator, somebody that arranges the shipping and handling and all that kind of stuff as well. Sometimes it will say both. Sometimes the business is both, and that is a good thing. But manufacturer is ultimately the thing I want. The second thing is, where are they located in China? And I want to make sure that they are, it's best if they're located in one of the 5 major provinces that is nearest the ocean, so that my transportation times, shipping costs, all that from wherever the manufacturer to the port are at a minimum. So you can do this. You can just do a quick, I'll do it with Bing. They got a good map. And pull this up, and you can double check that this province is near the water. And obviously you can see here that that it certainly is. So on to the next thing. Let's look at some of their metrics. They have 4.5 stars out of 5 out of 31 reviews. That's good. Obviously they have these 2 things because we filtered for those. Transaction level is 3.5 stars, and that's good. Let me see if I can click on this and open a new tab to show you what that looks like. So 3.5 stars mean 500,000 to 3 million in their transaction level. The highest you can go is 5 stars. So 3.5 stars is certainly a good thing. While we're over here, another thing that I look for is, since I'm looking for these kind of beauty trimmers and things, I would look at the product categories on the page for the company to see what other kinds of things they sell. If they're selling products that are nice and tight to this particular niche, it makes me feel a little better that they are more of a specialist in this area. If they also had running shoes and free weights and just random stuff like a mishmash, it would tell me that I might need to underwrite the quality of work that I'm going to get from them. But since it looks like makeup brushes, facial cleanser, blackhead remover, etc., it looks like they're really tightly focused on the beauty niche. So that's a good thing. Plus, with these other products, I might be able to expand my line with them. So that all looks good. So the next thing I want to do, I'm going to come back over to the first page, and I am going to select this as a favorite. And it wants me to sign in. Of course, I'll do that and create a free account real quick. Okay, this has been added to my favorites. And what I'm going to do next, I'm going to keep looking for other products, other suppliers that have the same thing. I think I found one down here. I just want to make sure if this is the same. No, it's not the same one. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on the product. Get out of these tabs. They get a little confusing sometimes. So it looks like these guys have a minimum order of 100. Their price point is a little better. They'll do a customized logo starting at 1,000 pieces. So, you can start to really kind of see some differences. If I look down here, they're in the same province, so that's good. Oops, sorry, not transactions. Look at company profile. So they are a manufacturer. So that's a good thing. They have 100 to 200 people, so that's all good. They're 2012, so that means they're 6 years in business. They have 4.6 stars out of 5. Definitely good. 3 diamonds is good enough for me. They look to be certainly a contender. So I will add them to my favorites as well. And you can keep going and find more suppliers. I just wanted to add a couple to my favorites list because I wanted to show you guys this. Once you get several people in your favorites list, you found them, come over here to favorites and view all items, and come over here to suppliers, and here are my 2 suppliers. So what you can do with these guys is select all, and then you want to hit contact supplier up here. If you hit this one or from the other page, it will individually send it to this one person. But if you go ahead and hit contact supplier here, it will send to both of these guys in one email. So you don't have to keep copying and pasting and cutting and pasting and things like that. You can send it to them right here in one email, and that's certainly convenient. And then I'll show you something in a minute, but with respect to this email, one of the things I'm going to give you in the link down below is my cheat sheet. I have a whole list of do's and don'ts on communicating with suppliers. I have a full sheet on sourcing lingo, what it means, because these things can be certainly confusing. And then also in the PDF download, I'm going to have a whole entire email script, especially an initial email script to send to the supplier so that you're asking the right questions and you sound a little bit more like you know what you're doing, especially if this is your first time. For those of you that have done this several times, please don't take that as offense, but the PDF down below will have all that information. You can cut and paste that right into here, send them an email, do the verification, and send the inquiry. The nice thing about this, when this happens, let me see if I can go back to favorites, is you can group these. Obviously, you'll have a bunch more in here. You can group them accordingly. You can see who has replied to you and who hasn't replied to you. So then you could send a follow-up message to those that hadn't replied to you in time. And then you can really start taking that information and kind of start to work them against each other. 2 of the things that I mentioned were about the MOQ, the minimum order quantity, and the price. Once you I wouldn't worry about the price so much in the very beginning. Wait till you start to get some feedback from some other ones, and you can absolutely just pit one against the other with respect to what you want and your pricing, etc. So anyways, that's just how I vet my suppliers. It is a process, but everything in life that we do is, especially when it comes to this sort of stuff. So I hope that you found this video informational and beneficial. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.